Good evening to all y'all. Buenas noches, mi gente. I'm Don Armando, and this is Open Topics with Don Armando. Soy Don Armando, eso es de mi show Open Topics con Don Armando. Ahora, en la noche, estoy hablando por una historia de los artes marciales en la República Dominicana. What's good?
How you doing, sir?
I'm doing all right.
What you think about the election, bro? I mean, the debate last night, bro?
It was funny.
I felt the same way.
I mean, me and my wife, we was actually watching it, and I could actually say that during that stuff, Donald Trump actually went up and said that people get their cats and dogs eaten in Ohio or in the Midwest. I was like, wow. But then again, it defeats the purpose, because anybody who's from New York might have eaten a cat or dog anyway. They went to a certain restaurant in the hood. That's all I gotta say.
A big fact. And then on top of that, bro, like I saw another video from a copper tone colored individual.
Yeah.
And he was saying the same thing that Trump was saying, but basically he said they was walking in the park and they grabbed the duck and cut the duck head off and walked off with the duck. So you feel me?
Like to me is this, right? Like,
no, look, it kind of like somebody got an agenda, you feel me, that they pushing. And then, like,
this, right?
Go ahead.
This is my thing, right? Okay, so let's put it like this. People hunt duck anyways, right? So what is it that people are actually protesting about a person? Oh, they went up and they hunt a duck and they cut off his head. Let's put it like this. If it's dogs and cats, yeah, it might be gross, but let's keep it real. A man went up and went and killed a wild duck. He's eating it, right? So, what the heck it is? Oh, that's right. You didn't go through the bylaws that we have to go in and protect animals. I'm like, first of all, a duck is a duck, and if I'm hungry, I got the right to kill it. It's human nature, right? Just like if you was, just like if you were in how should I say? Let's say that you was in the area with those wild turkeys, right? You hungry, and the way that inflation is, you really want to go to a store, get you a cold ass turkey that you can't even fry because it's cold and it got a whole bunch of juices anyway, right? Or you want to go and deep fry a turkey that you killed yourself that doesn't retain water. The only thing you might have to do is learn how to de-feather it, and then after that, guess what? It's a bon appetit. But guess what? In this country, they have it's to the point that okay, that they don't want you to go around and kill animals by yourself because it's going to make it unlawful. Thanks to the ASPCA and all these other crap, supposed crap organizations to say, okay, we're protecting the animals. Okay, so let's put it another way, right? People that want to say, oh, we're PETA and we're doing this and that and the third. I'm like, okay, well, guess what? Your ancestors back in the day there was no PETA like 500 years ago. There was no animal rights activists 500 years ago. So what do people do? They went up and they went up and they grew their own food.
They was eating ducks. They were eating
ducks. They were killing their own chicken,
turkey,
and then,
all that. Everything getting ate. Period.
And then on top of it, they're deer and everything. And the only people.
But wouldn't you classify that under hunting?
Yeah, but the thing is, though, since we're living in a political correct society, everything has to go through channels and stuff.
Yeah, you gotta get the licenses to do it. You just can't be out here willy nilly just doing that, because then
because like for example, right? Like I'm from the city, right? But partially raised down south. So me personally, my whole experience is I never ate venison a day in my life until for my 41st birthday. You know what I'm saying? And when I went up and I ate deer meat, that joint actually tasted like steak. The way it was prepared and everything like that. My cousin, who was actually in the medical field, he said that he went to a 5-star restaurant and he ate venison and he said it was the worst thing he ever tasted. So
it's all on how you prepare it, and you feel me, what seasonings you use with it.
Yeah,
for everything.
Exactly. So I guess you went to a establishment that they deal with exotic foods and everything like that. And since it's pale owned, we're not gonna go on and sound ignorant and say, oh, a person in this, that, and the third. We're just saying it was pale owned. You get what I'm trying to say? And certain people, shout out to anybody who's right there. This is not a racist thing or anything like that. We're just stating facts.
Yeah,
certain people. Yeah, some of y'all do not know how to season. Let alone y'all will actually go and cook meat without seasoning. So when you actually go and put that bad boy in the grill, and that joint is and you thinking that you're gonna go and eat a nice food and everything like that without seasoning, that joint tastes bland and gross. I'm just calling it how it is. If you look at the people that could actually say that know how to season their meat are Middle Eastern people, Asian people, Hispanic people, and I'll give a little bit of credit to my people in Israel and a lot of people who are actually from the African continent. And also shout out to my Ethiopians and Eritreans. They know how to actually season their food. They know how to, if you actually eat pure meat, right? I'm talking about meat that is freshly killed, that you don't have to go to the supermarket or anything like that. 9 times out of 10, that's way better for you than frozen meat. Now, I'm not a medical expert or anything like that. I'm just going off of what I see people. But back to the topic. It's like Kamala Harris. She had some very inconsistencies when she was debating, right? My only thing is that, okay, throughout the whole debate, Donald Trump was actually mentioning her father. She kept mentioning her mother. How her mother did this. How her mother did that. She failed to mention what her father is. Her father's background. Like his academic achievements and whatnot.
Academic resume.
Exactly. And me personally, that was one thing, and that I guess did not go within Kamala's favor. But for the whole debate, when Donald Trump went up and was talking about the walls, how there was no crime and inflation and all of this stuff, I'm like, I have to go around and look because I'm going to be honest. When you're actually in a different state, I'm talking about red or blue state, and you actually look at the commercials, if you're actually in a Democratic state, you're not going to go and get commercials favoring Donald Trump. If you're in a Republican state, you're not going to have commercials that favor the Democratic candidates. So we need to go back into what media used to be, where we could actually see two candidates where they'll be Republican or Democrat, and then we could actually make up our mind on our own instead of living in a state where we have to see mindless propaganda of the same candidates. Don't you agree?
Yes, I agree because I feel like Trump is an undercover Democrat posing as a Republican, you feel me? And then, then you got the Democrat. So it's like you face with two Democrats at the same time.
Yeah. I mean, what a lot of people don't know is that Donald Trump used to be a Democrat.
That's what I'm saying, you feel me? So it's like,
and then he actually said in an interview, don't quote because it's not because I mean not quote it verbatim, but he said that he will actually join the Republican Party because people are so stupid to actually believe what he's doing and everything, and his game plan works. Like, come on. Yeah, shout out to you, Don Jose. All right. Let's see. In other current events, what are your opinions on the passing of Rich Homie Quan?
I feel like it was foul play.
I mean, yeah. But then again, you have a lot of these internet sleuths and how should I say, naysayers that are trying to actually point the fingers at Young Thug and what's his name, YSL, Woody or whatever.
Woody, YSL.
Yeah, yeah. People that don't know better.
Think about it. But like, he just mentioned the man on stand like last week, wasn't it?
Right. Yeah.
And then the man ended up. I'm foul play, bro. I'm just saying foul play. I'm not saying where it came from, who did what. I'm just saying foul play. That's all I'm saying. Whatever happens, you gonna find out. But it's like,
yeah.
From the 911 call and how fast everything came out, it's just it's too suspicious. Everything is weird. It's too eerie.
Yeah.
Like, and then it's close to Halloween, bro. And you feel me? I feel like if Young Thug beat this case, bro, he done did it.
To me, is this
allegedly.
the, the my thing is this: the case, if there's even the case that they even having young thug in for at least 2 or 3 years fighting, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is my thing. We're going around and we're fighting a case, right? And while you're fighting the case and everything like that, it's consistencies on every corner, whether it be the judges, not the judge, whether it be from the prosecutor side or the faulty representation by lawyers and stuff that is actually being found out on trial.
Right.
So,
and then like the thing about drugs being handed off in the courtroom and stuff, like, bro, this is crazy, bro. Like, who who wrote this script? It's too crazy, bro. Then this is like, bro, nah, bro, this too much, bro. It's too much.
I mean, think about it though. The only reason that we actually seeing all this crazy stuff, right, is because it's being televised, right? So I want to just give you like a thought process. Imagine of all the corrupt stuff that actually happened in the courtroom without our knowledge, or which is not being televised. And then you see a lot of innocent men who are of Black and Latino origin actually being stuck in the G wall just because of prosecutorial incompetence and or a negligent lawyer. So if you really look at it, certain people who are innocent, they don't even have a chance, or they'll be from where they're from, or the way that certain cops, whenever they arrest a person, which is by law in the United States, and they don't even give them the Miranda rights. That right there could actually set free a lot of people from conviction.
I tried to use that in court, bro. I ain't gonna cap. I tried to use that in court. I even told my lawyer that stuff, bro. Cause like the last little situation I had, bro, they charged me with something I didn't do, you feel me? But they ain't use my Miranda. So I'm like,
yeah.
I was trying to use that, but they ain't even let me use it in court. It was cute, bro. I don't even, cause I live in Florida, bro. Like this crazy, bro.
Yeah. So what part of Florida do you live in?
I'm in Palm Beach.
Palm Beach. I haven't been to Palm Beach. The only places that I've been to in Florida in my lifetime is Pensacola. I had my second honeymoon in Orlando with my wife, and I was up in Tampa, the Spring Hill area, and then when I was on a cruise, like maybe for 2 or 3 hours before the storm hit, I was in Canaveral, Florida, on just walking around, just hanging out for a little bit before I went back on the cruise. So those are the only places I have been in Florida. But I would love to go to Miami and visit some family members that I have out there.
They lit. They kinda lit, ain't it?
Yeah.
The whole South Florida is the whole vibe, really.
Yeah, that's what I'm hearing. But what is your thoughts, since you are from that area? I guess what you would consider North Florida. What are your thoughts on the recent passing of Julio?
I mean, I just say it's karma, bro. And the reason why I say it's common because every action has a reaction. And once you
Right.
realize that, you realize that when you fall and bump your knee,
Yeah.
let me make sure I, watch my step so I don't stumble again
Yeah.
type stuff. So you feel me? Like certain things, certain people know they make their bed before they lay in it. So when they lay in it, all you gotta do is respect the situation for what it is.
Yeah. Just like the recent passing of a rapper by the name of here in Philadelphia by the name of YBC Duel.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
So
yeah, 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 yeah. Like certain frequencies, um, certain frequencies, transmit and um transmit a
mhm.
different, something that you was asking for, and that's all
Yeah.
it is. You gotta
Hmm.
expect that thing. You really can't. You really don't want to cash because when it's time to cash it, you ain't
Yep.
really ready for that. Everybody
Yep.
wanna be that, but then when it's their turn, it ain't no fun when the rabbit got the gun. It's fun while you
Right.
doing it, but then when it's your turn, man, really can't even be mad. Even if you do get away, eventually, you're gonna get it like from the destination. No matter how many times, they 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 try to escape, it was always coming. So you gotta be careful with what you put out. That's why I'm real careful with my mouth.
Exactly. Another thing I'm about to say is this. Um, let's let's have a moment of silence for a minute. All right, I'm about to cut off the music. Yeah, I just had to do that for the memory of those who actually lost their lives 23 years ago today in 9/11.
Right, right,
Since
right.
today is the anniversary.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Can't forget about those people, bro.
Yeah. Now, El Negro,
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna ask you an important question. Where were you during that time when that
I was
attack
in
happened?
I was in school. I remember they showed it on television.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was in school when it happened. I ain't even gonna count. I was in class
Yeah.
trying to get my education.
I hear you. Same here. I was actually in class, and then the next thing you know, there was like, "Yo, this and that happened," and
Right,
I was in New York at the time. So when there was like this, well, I guess when the second plane hit,
right.
everybody went up, and there was like, "Okay, we got to do this, we got to do that."
I ain't even gonna lie,
But
like it was crazy watching that shit live. Like I'm like, bro, they actually showing this shit on television, bro. You feel me? And like we kids watching this shit, so I'm like, bro, the fuck, bro, like they ain't gonna blur it or nothing.
yeah,
Like you feel me? They ain't gonna like, oh, just tell us about it. They just gonna show it, like, yeah, man, like watch this, watch all these people. You feel me? Like got a nigga hella emotional. Like there's actual people in there, dude. Like fuck.
yeah, I was like in my late, I was in my late, I was in my late teens. Mm. Doing that, watching that, and then I was like, okay, since I was in New York, and everybody got let out of school that day. So what happened was a lot of people didn't. A lot of people that didn't have cable had messed up reception, and my mother was one of them. Um, a lot of people during that time, they were still trying to find out what had happened to their family members, and it was actually a long, arduous process. So during that time frame, you know, it was rough. I'm not gonna hold you. And certain people who were innocent at that time, unfortunately, they got deleted because of a stereotypical view, which a lot of Americans are guilty of, thanks to propaganda and other tools which
Yeah,
have
yeah,
been.
yeah, yeah. You're talking about the war on the weapons of mass destruction.
Not only that, like
That
for
was
example,
insane. Yeah, go ahead, bro.
it- but I'm talking before it led up to that, right? Well, I'm talking about to the victims, may they rest in peace, who are victims, sadly, of mistaken identity and ignorance. A lot of people who are of Indian descent, who actually follow the Sikh faith, were actually mistaken for being quote unquote um Middle Eastern or Arab.
Yeah,
So with that ignorance and such, and certainty, and these people were just hardworking people that were just working, trying to provide for their families. They get beat up and unfortunately deleted. And the ones who actually survived, they actually went and filed police reports and everything. And then when you actually see most of the people who are showing rage and everything, most of the people said without shame, well, they went up and they attacked us first. Those people, when the fact is, if people really went and did their research, they know that instead of watching old cartoons where you see people with turbans and everything like that, maybe if they would have picked up a book and know what people groups and ethnicities is or whatever the case may be, 9 times out of 10, they could have actually prevented racial attack on certain people. And the people who had nothing to do with it or anything like that wouldn't have had to be wouldn't have to lose their lives to due to this ignorance. That's my only beef about that. And I hate to say, certain people, due to ignorant stereotypes and everything like that, in the long run, lost a lot of business partners, and they developed a mistrust after a while, because a lot of people, when they actually lose a relative around here and everything like that, they actually develop a sense of mistrust, and that's not good.
yeah, I hear you, bro. I'm listening. But that makes sense though.
Yeah,
But like, I feel like all of that was like a chess move for some evil, diabolical other stuff that's coming down the pipeline. You feel me? Especially because you know who the movers and shakers is.
Yep.
And then, like, we really need to come together and figure out how we're gonna address that because you feel me, they just can't be going out here doing all this willy nilly stuff. You feel me? All this crazy. Like, someone
Mm-mm.
got to give. You feel me? Even if it have to be anarchy. You feel me? Like
Yep. I mean,
citizens arrest. Like real spill.
yeah. I mean, if you actually look at it, I mean, I may be wrong, but you live in Florida, right?
Yes, sir.
So, so didn't they go and they have a certain thing of stand your ground right
Yeah,
now, and
yeah, yeah. And then
and they're
like
like
now,
this.
and then like now they done made it. They done made it. They done made it to where like as soon as they turn 18, they could get the guns without the license. So you feel me? But my homeboy,
Wow.
he got his gun, but he got his license. You feel me?
Yeah.
So you feel me?
I
Like,
mean, it actually look good on. It actually looks good on paperwork when you actually defend yourself. Because I feel for a lot of people because you got some of these self entitled, how I should say, idiots in all corners and everything like that. That since they since they feel that they have a gun or whatsoever, they feel like, okay, I'm gonna go do this and I'm gonna do that. Yeah, yeah, I think I'm the man. When the fact is, half the people that actually use guns, sorry to say, they don't know the technicalities. They don't know how to clean their guns or whatever, or their pew pew. So therefore, when they actually go on a pew pew thing, sorry, it about sounds stupid because this is YouTube and their regulatory language that you have to use because you can't really use basic English anymore. So well, you got the boomers, and then you have to pew pew use it pew pew and everything like that. 9 times out of ten, most of the people who are doing the pew pewing were of 18 to 24. If they didn't really have somebody to actually teach them what they're actually going to do.
like,
Senpai Pete, how you doing?
Us. Good evening, everyone.
Us. Good evening.
good evening, good evening.
All right, brother. Quick shout out.
Yeah, so
Like
yeah, shout
always,
out to El Negro.
shout
He
out to the
actually
people
came
in
here.
the room, brother.
Shout out to you, bro. Shout out to you.
Shout out to the people in the comments. The listeners, the followers, the people that share this broadcast, the people that are going to listen to this broadcast later. May y'all all be blessed.
Amen. All right. So I did a little information. Well, I read a little of information, Pete,
Yeah.
and I actually reached out to Gaddafi and I gave him the stream it. So therefore, if anybody like of his friends or anything like that, so I reached out to a lot of martial artists today and last night. Hopefully they come. If not, we just have to hold it down. Um, to talk about when the martial arts entered the Dominican Republic. So technically, I guess now this is a hypothesis. The martial arts came to the Dominican Republic, and this is just a guess. It might have came through to the Dominican Republic during the 1960s. I guess that would be American, Chinese, and Japanese influences. But this is just a guess, though.
I know. I know for sure that for the 1950s, Japanese karate was already in San Pedro.
Nice.
All right.
Wow.
What I don't have is founder names and exact dates. But I know for the 50s, this person I've been looking for that he lives over here, Aponte. Aponte was
Yeah.
a karate teacher for San Pedro. And I've been
All
looking for
right.
him because he lives here in the city. He's old, you know what I'm saying? But he still
All
lives
right.
in the city. I've been looking for him, and even the store owner tells me he hasn't seen him in a month or two. So I'm praying for him because I hope he's okay. I know he
All
knows
right.
the information because he's been around, from the get. He started karate, I think, at 7,
All
and
right.
he became the master of San Pedro. So I know for a fact he told me that already in the 50s they was doing it. So what I don't have is accurate timeline.
All right.
And then Julian, who's a captain of the army, he used to live in Restauración behind La Cayete. I bumped into
Right.
him. I bumped into him. This was like 20 years ago. When I bumped into him, he was like, "Oh, you're American too?" I said, "No, I just speak American." And he started laughing. He's like, "Oh, I'm a captain for the army, and I teach kung fu at the WAS." I'm like, "Oh yeah, what else you do?" He's like, "Oh, I also teach kung fu in La UCE." And I'm like, "Oh, that's what's up. That's what's up." And his style was a tiger claw kung fu, even though he was a master of all 12 animal forms. And you didn't think that he was, because he was a little guy with glasses, and you would never figure that guy he was a total kick-ass.
Yeah, those would be the ones.
Yeah,
Now,
he was a whole captain of the army. I was like, "Oh wow, I never seen a captain of the army this small before." He's like, "It's because I can kick ass, bro." I'm like, "I bet." you're you're
yeah,
you're a black belt in kung fu of 12 animal forms. That means you've been doing that for at least 20 years.
yeah. Now, there was a guy when I was living in the Bronx. He's a police officer, by the way.
Okay.
I forgot his name, and I'm not going to put his name out here anyway. And we're just talking strictly about martial arts. So when me and him, we used to be seeing each other in passing, he always told me that he's actually an expert in Eagle Claw Kung Fu. I was
Ah,
like, Dad.
okay.
I was like, Dad.
Yeah, those are
Okay.
rare. Those are rare.
Yeah.
Back in China, there was something called the Eagle Fish Champion. Well, all styles had a champion, and there was a champion for every district. So
Hmm.
for someone in this late of a generation to come out the woodwork and say, "Oh, I'm a Eagle Fish champion. I'm an Eagle Fish professional," it's like, whoa, you're a professional of a dying art.
Yeah.
And I don't mean dying as in that martial art is disappearing. I just mean dying because it's rare. It's a rare breed. A lot of people are more prone to jump on the Jeet Kune Do, the Bruce Lee stuff, or on the Wing Chun, the sticky hands, because it's traditional meets modern. But Eagle
Right.
Claw is like, it's as old as White Crane. It's as old as Snake. It's as old as Bear Style.
Mantis.
Mantis, 5-star Mantis,
Hmm.
Shaolin Mantis, Wudon Mantis. There's just,
Northern and southern mantis.
you say, oh, it just goes on. Like, it just goes on.
You know what was funny? And I was just bored and everything like that. I was like, yeah, let me just go around and type in dog kung fu, right?
Oh yeah, it exists.
Oh yeah, when I saw that, I was like, yo,
Dog,
that
monkey,
actually looks
cat.
fly.
Yeah, all that exists.
Toad, toad, yeah.
Yeah, I'm hitting up one of my black belts right now. I'm gonna
All
fa-
right,
I'm gonna Facebook call him, see if he's available, see if he jumps on the show real quick.
all right. I went up and I actually went up and I hit up an expert by the name of Puntiero Jordan from the Capitol.
Okay.
So I told him about them show. So I hope he actually comes. But
No pickup. No pickup. Okay. Let me see if let me see here. Call another black belt. Hello, caller. You are live with Don Armando in the martial arts edition. Who is on the phone? Nope, they hung up. All right. I've never seen someone get stage fright so quickly. That works. One second.
all right,
Hello. All right. Here I am. Um. All right. So, in the past few days, I've been trying to reconnect with certain people, trying to gather information here and there, but it's I don't know what it is about nowadays. These it's always the last few months to end the year. People start acting like they're more detached from the world. A lot of people start acting like they've already given up on this year. A lot of people start acting you know, like they could do something else, but they're not really doing anything. So, I don't know. I look for people and it's like I can't seem to find them, but when I'm not looking for them, they show up right in my face. Hey, how you doing? Da, da, da. I'm like, oh, hey, hi. But when I start looking for people, I can't find them. It's weird. Next week I will be making a presentation of more in-home security gadgets as far as mechanisms and booby traps that can be used for a safer home. Of course, obviously there's variables to these situations because like I've said many times before, if you have children, especially younger ones, these booby traps won't help only because young kids are prone to experiment and explore and they want to fall into everything. But if you're a person that you live with a spouse and there's no kids around, you could booby trap some of your windows and doors and make it a safer environment for you as a homeowner, or an apartment owner, renter, dweller. Um, but yeah, that's basically part of it. You know, I did remember mentioning. I do remember mentioning about having a private online security system because of due to the fact that there's these jammers that if you have IP webcams in your house and they're connected to a security system or whatever, because it's on your IP, once your internet gets jammed, your IP shuts down. So all the surveillance cameras and all those things, they shut down and they're unoperational. It's not like an EMP, because the EMP will literally fry and damage all your electronics. The jammer, what it does is that it jams the signal. So now anything that was relying on signal is vulnerable, as opposed to having private security, that their cameras and stuff are connected to a different network system that comes directly from their company, has nothing to do with your internet at all. So even if they come with a jammer, they can't jam the outside private security network, because it's a different security network. Unless you're dealing with hackers, and then in that case, I don't know hackers that break through security systems and then come into people's houses like that. Most hackers like to keep stuff on the computer and they never show their face. So that's just one perspective of it. But yeah, between last week and last few days, I've been going through a few things at the house, so I haven't had time to actually sit down and build a presentation up. But for sure, next week we'll have a presentation ready. We're gonna talk about a few booby traps and gizmos and things that, like I said, put behind your door, put on a window, your
Mhm.
back door of the house, and
Yeah, and I'm saying that I'm still trying to, at least, even though this still is going to be like a ongoing topic, because we have to get this story out. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, as far as when it's considered Dominican martial arts, etc. So this is going to be how long it ever be. The home security also.
yep.
Yep.
I mean, it's a
And
never-ending
also,
topic. It's a never-ending topic because safety never stops. You know what I'm saying? Just like danger never stops.
exactly, exactly.
I want to apologize beforehand if my wife comes through the door and she's yelling and screaming and stuff. It's not because of
I
you guys. It's because she's in a bad mood. She likes to be in a bad
understand.
mood. She pinpoints that when she's in a bad mood, it's because of me. And I'm telling her it's not because of me. It's because of herself. Because if that's the case, I'd be in a bad mood as well. And I'm not.
I mean, hey, I
It's one
mean,
of those. It's a, it's
trust me.
it's not a catch 22. It's a catch 44.
Yeah, well, hey, that's the life we live, man, the married life. And 9 times out of 10, it's a good life to live, right? I'm not gonna front. Since you and I we're in our third years of marriage, you know.
I'm just saying, bro. She's the only person I know that can get up. Like she just got up from a nap and immediately started talking about how I make her upset and this and that. I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, I haven't even spoken to you since you've been up. No,
Mm.
because you don't know how upset you make me. Right. Meanwhile, I'm doing what? Running around. I make dinner for the kids. I'm on my radio show every Wednesday. There's something different that pops up in her mind that she thinks she needs to find a way or a reason to argue with me about something. I'm like, really? I can't be at peace to do my radio show. We have to argue about dumb stuff. Like, come on.
I'm yeah, but then if you really look at it, there's always a way to de-escalate it. And
Not with her.
every, I
Not
mean,
with
if
her.
you were
You could have swore to God that she's the Marine in the house. The way she acts.
all right, well, if you really look at it, you just have to do this because from my collections and everything like that, from our interactions, you just have to be the calm man. Now,
I
me
always
personally,
am.
I'm yeah, you are. Me personally, I'm not gonna. One flaw that I had, and one flaw that I do is I do get angry a lot. I ain't gonna front, but at the same time, I'm trying to learn how to curve that and
Well,
just sit
you
back and
asked
just be calm.
you asked the right one. When I came back home from the military, I was mandated to do a year of anger management, and I completed my year of anger management in 7 months.
Wow.
So what I've learned has helped me significantly. Did you know that anger, anxiety, and depression is optional? You don't have to be angry. You don't have to be anxious. You don't have to be depressed. It's optional. You're feeding into it. Don't feed into the
Mm,
demon. There's so many other things
exactly.
you can think about. There's so many other situations you can think about. Peter Pan used to say, think happy thoughts. Why? Not to
Hmm.
keep yourself young, but to keep yourself off the edge of being tormented by your feelings, a mood swing, depression, anxiety. All these things are attacking you because you're feeding into it. If you get a thought that's telling you, "Oh, um, let's say an envious thought. Oh, my neighbor has this and this, and I want that too." If you don't feed into it, it's gonna die right there. But if you feed into it, yeah, you know what, you're right. Oh, my neighbor has this and I want that too. And da 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 da. Next thing you know, you're following the crowd and you're not following the purpose that you have in yourself. This is why people lose themselves because they're so caught up in wanting to chase what the next person's dream is, or all caught up in wanting to magnetize to what someone else is dreaming, all caught up in someone else's Kool Aid. Everyone has their own purpose. Try to seek the energy that's in you and become one with the energy flowing in you and walk forward in the path that is destined for you, as opposed to trying to follow someone else's path and then you end up getting lost. And then you don't know who you were because you were trying to copy somebody else.
Right.
That's just my opinion, I guess.
I mean, it's duly noted because it's like there's a situation that that I've had like maybe in my work life, right? And one thing that I've actually seen is that you have certain people that you could say that they have father issues or they don't have good representation of themselves. So in my job, there's a known creep, right? And I'm just going to use the word creep loosely. And this creep, I stopped talking to him because as a grown man, dude was petty. He went up and he was like, "Oh, he got mad just because I was holding a pizza for a friend of mine that I was hungry." So around that time, I found out that he was a creep. I was like, "Okay, well that makes it really easier. I don't have to talk to that person." So whenever me and my colleague, I ain't gonna go around and tell you, oh, I'm so smart and everything like that. No, there's certain faults that I have. That's what men have. But then when you actually have friends that actually care about you, that actually help you improve your faults, that actually inspire you and everything like that, you could always have fun. Amidst whatever demagoguery a person's actually gonna put against you. And then when I see that certain stuff doesn't add up, now how people are acting and everything like that, you have to go and sit back and see where is this coming from? Is this coming from a person's personal anger against you, or their problem with you is manufactured? What I mean manufactured is that a person doesn't have a problem with, but they want to create that they have a problem with you, so therefore they could appease the person that really has a problem with you. You get my joke, Pete?
Yeah, I'm here, brother. My bad. She just came through the door. Um,
Gotcha.
but yeah, I hear you, and that's correct. It's sad that you know people really people are so miserable and happy at the same time and living in the next person's shadow. And it's like just find your own happiness. There's a little bit of light for everyone. The sun comes out for all.
Yep.
Some people just want to be miserable and then blame the next person. Oh, you make me miserable. How do I make you miserable? How is that possible? I'm not a miserable person, so why would I don't get it.
Uh, to me, one thing I'm just gonna say is this: a smart man once said, "We ain't gonna get. We're not ever gonna get what women do." You know what I'm saying? And we
Nope.
can't figure them out.
Nope.
So all we gotta do
All
is
we
just do
can do.
what we can do is just show how much of a man we are, and hopefully they see that. Oh, like you know, like he's different. You know what I'm trying to say?
My my thing has always been this. I'm the kind of person that I hold a certain composure. Not just because of the person who I am or the character that I am, but because of how I lived my life, how I was raised, and how certain things were perfected in me. I became um a machine that does damage. And what I mean by that, I mean being a martial artist, I was a person that used to hurt people, period. There was no
Right.
ifs, whats, buts, nothing. Oh, you're looking too much at me and I don't like it, knockout. Like that's how I used to be. That was my
All
old
right.
what I'm saying? Now I'm the person that I will literally get pushed and I'll look at the person like, nah, you don't want to do that. They'll look at me and be like, wait, what? I'm trying to entice a fight. I'm trying to tell you that you don't want to do that. It's like I'm giving warnings now. I never gave warnings before. I never gave warnings before. Now I'm giving people warnings like, you sure you want to do this? Because
Right.
it's not going to be about what you think. You're going to take a swing and I'm going to start breaking your bones. Because to me, it's not a regular fight. To me, it's always been about survival. And I got to
And
make sure I
sad.
come home to my kids. So it's going to be what it's going to be. And they look at me and be like, maybe I don't want to pick a fight with this guy. I'm like, maybe you don't.
Right.
As a matter of fact, here's the funny thing. I actually have two students that were people that wanted to fight me at one point.
Damn.
Yeah. And they decided, you know what? Your psychological game defeated me. Teach me martial arts.
That.
And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna put you on observation, and maybe after a month from now, I'll probably start teaching you something. And lo and
Mm.
behold, bro, I got two students that were people that at one point wanted to fight with me, and I convinced them that it's not a smart idea. I don't approve. You want to fight with the wrong person. I'm not a street thug. I'm not just someone that's gonna punch you and knock you out and that's it. No, you're gonna start swinging at me because I'm gonna wait for you to attack me, and I'm gonna start doing what I know how to do. I'm gonna start breaking joints. I'm gonna start breaking proximals and distals and all types of stuff. I don't
Mm.
want to do that.
Mm.
You know,
Yeah.
hence the reason of staying calm. Hence the reason of being humble. Hence the reason of not letting. How do I let the next person that doesn't know me, someone that just met me 2 seconds ago because they stepped on my foot or whatever, how do I expect that person to understand where I'm coming from and who I am if that person doesn't know me from a hole in the wall? At the same
Right.
token, because that person doesn't know me, why should I be pent up into anger and to, oh, I'm going to explode on this person because they don't know who I am? And bro, it works hand in hand. They don't know who you are. Don't get offended with nothing.
Mm.
Words are just words. You know what I'm saying? I've always believed that as long as no one's putting their hands on you, you should be fine.
Right.
But in New York, especially in New York, there are people that'll come up to you and grab you by your shirt and talk to you like if
Yep.
you're their son. Yo, 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 yo. For people like that, I have the combos. I grab them by the
Oh,
wrist.
that's
I break that wrist. I break the elbow, break the shoulder, slam to the chin, slam to the middle of the stomach, turn, twist, slam to the ground. It's a wrap.
right. Now, as far as the martial arts, what what do you know about a certain individual? And this is an iconic individual. Now, between me and you,
Run that
did
by me.
Bruce Lee ever go to the Dominican Republic?
Who?
Bruce Lee.
Yeah, I heard he went to DR like in the 60s or 70s.
You're right. They actually had him drinking Presidente.
I think they
It
had
was like
pictures
a martial arts seminar or
they
something
have
like that, if I'm not mistaken.
Capitol, and they have pictures of him in Hue in front of the Basilica, the big Catholic church.
Mm-hmm.
They have pictures of him and his wife. I guess some of his students. And they were just chilling, like oh, we're tourists. I'm like, oh, look at y'all in my country all chilling. I wish I was alive for that time.
Me too. My dad and my uncle, they love the Bruce Lee movies. May they rest in peace.
Rest in peace. Rest in peace, Bruce Lee as well. Um,
Yeah.
a lot of us grew up on Bruce Lee, and a lot of us grew up with the image of who Bruce Lee was on film, not knowing who he really was in the street. That's why when I talk about Bruce Lee, I don't big him up so much because I remember um Street Fighter, Street Bully Bruce Lee. That man that didn't have that moral compass. Okay, that
Right.
man that had to get kicked out of the Wing Chun studio. That man that kept fighting in the street for money because, let's be honest, he grew up broke. You know,
Yeah.
and when he got his opportunity to head to United States, and he did what he did, that's when his martial mind, his martial eye opened, and he stopped being Bruce Lee the bully, Bruce Lee the street fighter. He started being Bruce Lee the martial arts presentator, Bruce Lee the martial arts expert of how to win a fight, or how to end the fight.
Yeah.
Bruce Lee, I think, opened up 3 different systems, and the most popular of his systems is Jeet Kune Do.
Yep.
No,
The
and
first, the first, the first system, I believe, it was June Fan, which is actually named after him, I
right,
believe.
and like I said, brother, like I grew up on Bruce Lee, and I was one of those people that used to admire Bruce Lee until I found out the story behind
Right?
everything. And it's like
Yeah.
and it's true what they say. You never want to meet your heroes locally. You never want to be so close to your heroes and find out who they really are, because then you might lose faith in them, and that's the truth.
Hmm.
That's the truth. When I found out that he was a street bully, street fighter, it bothered me because to me, martial arts is about honor. Martial arts is about respect and discipline. Not I can fight better than you and that's it. A lot of martial artists aren't people that fight. A lot of martial artists are people that take beatings. Let me tell you,
Yeah.
a lot of martial artists are people that all they do is take beatings and then they keep walking like nothing. People like that
Mhm.
super blessed because they didn't want to fight back, not because they're scared. They didn't want to fight back because
But because they knew their power.
they don't want to hurt you, man. So you know what? Go ahead and beat me up. I'll be all right. I take more than this at the dojo all day, every day, and it's amazing. It's amazing.
Hmm.
Yeah, man. So when's your next trip to the city? I still haven't given you your first stick fighting lesson yet.
I'm not sure, and I'm going to be honest because I want to go to the city, but then I was bumped. I'm not going to be. I'm going to be honest.
Of course.
My next time in the city, it might be in October,
Mm,
but I'm trying to see how I could do this because I'm trying to have a family meeting
right.
with some of my family members. So I'm trying to see how I could do that and then learn my first stick fight. So
I mean, there's always because of the modern days that we live in and the technology, we could always video call, and then I could give you a lesson through video call.
exactly, I'll g- I'll hopefully I'll get my yeah, whatever is necessary, and we could do that. But
Yeah, man.
then but then but then also I do want to meet you, senpai, again. So therefore we could do whatever, but at the same time it'll be hands on. Like, okay, what is this technique and that and so forth? Because you've actually said it yourself. It's better that when you have an instructor because you have certain people that they might think that they're doing the right move, but then if they do the wrong move, not only that person may hurt themselves, or they might physically hurt a person, which they didn't really intend to hurt.
100%. 100%.
Yeah.
Hence the reason why, hence the reason why they say to train in front of an instructor, because it's not even about the hurting yourself. It's about, you know, if you're doing let's say you're doing a regular punch, right? That's supposed
Right.
to stay, it's supposed to stay at chest level. If you go higher than your shoulder and the person sees that that punch is projected to go higher than the shoulder, someone's going to close the gap and go under that space and go under your arm and easily drag slam you. So you want to make sure that that punch is at its chest length and that it's short all through the middle, and these are things that you see how I explained it in words. You can't put a visual on that. But if I teach you hands on and I explain it to you, you'll visualize it. It's very different from just, oh, do this, do that, do that. No, what is that exactly? Okay, it's like this, like that, like this, like that. You spin this way, you bring your elbow up this way, you follow that with a backhand like this, turn to the left, do this. Like, oh, okay, that's what it's done. As opposed to just saying it out loud, oh, this, and that. That's for experts. You know what I'm saying? When you go to a tournament, there's people that do katas, right? There's people that do this kata team, fighting team. The kata team, all they do is kata, and they're so sharp and in sync with it. All you got to do is tell them a series of combinations, and they'll do it. But that's because they're experts. You can't expect a white belt to do a synchronized combination of attacks and motions if they're not at a certain level. They don't have the level of understanding to be able to do it. Hence the reason why they can't visualize it, as opposed to a black belt that would be able to visualize it because they learned it prior. Yeah. Yep.
Another thing that I'm about to ask, and I guess that the listeners or whoever wants to know in your time of learning the martial arts, right? Or like your senpais or your masters, right? Now, one thing that I've actually heard of is that certain people's like, oh, that person's in their style or whatsoever, but yet they don't know how to defend themselves from other styles or whatever. So therefore, they need certain people need to have like an interim, so they could showcase their skills or whatsoever. Now, in your expertise of martial arts, uh, Pete, have you like when you was in the and Sado and everything? Did your school ever go like, okay, they had a competition, like, okay, who was the best in Sado, and then it will be somebody that they were like, okay, you have to do not a kata, but you have to do. You might have to fight another person in another style. Like for example, Shotokan or Shorin Ryu or something like that. Has that ever went down, or in that aspect, that's just something that certain people are just saying or just thinking? That's what I want to know.
Um, the World Japanese Karate Federation, when they host tournaments, it's all mixed karate. It's all permitted, unless it's a karate style that is too dangerous to participate. Like let's say in New York, when there's a karate tournament, you have Goju Reel, they pull up, Shotokan pulls up, Pouncing Tigers show up, all these different karate systems pull up. But let's say V Jiu Jitsu is not allowed to participate. Why? Because V Jiu Jitsu, uh, um, they thrive in overkill. They thrive in the extra punches and hits. Shocking the body, making sure that when the fight is over, it's over. Like that person's not coming back up to keep fighting. The fight is done. Right? People that
Mm.
study that kind of system, they're not allowed to participate in tournaments unless it's a tournament of their own system.
Oh, got you.
And then you have
So,
hold on. I'm up. That's
uh,
part one. Part two is um also depends on what criteria the system has. Is it point fighting? Is it sports? Is it traditional? Traditional karate systems hold a united combined front of all systems into a tournament because obviously they want to aim to find the best of the best just cause, as opposed to sports fighting, In sports fighting, it's slightly limited, obviously. And in point fighting, sometimes they only have certain schools that fit the same criteria, as opposed to, oh, we're gonna have Kyokushin against Ishinryu. We're gonna have Kyokushin versus Seido. We're gonna have Kyokushin versus, like, they don't want to mix those styles up because they want to make sure that whoever's fighting one with the other, that there's a common flow amongst them, so there's no mistakes.
Mm.
Yeah.
So have you ever met anybody that practiced the style of Shorinji Kempo karate?
There there are styles of karate that I don't even know of to this
All
day.
right.
So the only way I would know is if that person presented themselves, oh, I'm from this school, blah blah blah. But when it comes down to, you know, going on the mat, what's respected is obviously the person showing face and courage, and what's respected is the traditional gi, what you have on, that's it's respected. It's not so much what school you're from, but there's a possibility, there's a possibility, because a lot of people really think that karate only came from Japan, and there's other methods of karate that didn't come straight from mainland Japan or from Okinawa, even though we know that karate, was birthed in Okinawa. Okinawa is the birthplace of karate, and that's one of shout out to Jesse, Karate by Jesse, the karate nerd. He you can't say Okinawa in front of him because the first thing he'll say is the birthplace of karate. Like that's his trigger. That's his trigger words, his trigger sentence.
Yeah. All right. Now, hmm, talking about Jesse, I my sister had a friend that was on HBO. He went by the name of Jesse also.
Cool, cool.
Yeah, I wanted to learn my shorts from him back, but then I didn't really get the opportunity. Anyway, but he was a black belt, and he was actually in the HBO special. I think it was 1996, if, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean by next week if I actually get the clip, I might show it. So I guess I'll show it under the fair use clause,
Right.
but because YouTube it is tricky.
Yeah, YouTube in the past 10, 20 years that they've been around, they have changed their laws up so crazy.
Hmm.
Whew.
Yeah.
Just sent the kids to sleep.
Yeah.
Everything's ready for tomorrow.
Yeah. So another thing,
Yep.
when he was in San Pedro,
Yep.
and I'm gonna try to actually appeal to the women who are listening. How many female black belts did you actually know?
Wow. Only a few, and they were scary.
Mm.
They were scary people. Like they really embodied the martial arts to the point where they looked highly intimidating. Like it's like they wore karate on their face.
Ooh.
You know, people knew better. They didn't even feel tempted to try to bother these people. Like they just knew better. Like
Yeah.
there was this girl, Jasenia. We also used to call her Jessie. Jasenia. She used to be from Placer Bonito. I don't know where she's at right now in the world. I don't know if she's in Spain. I don't know if she's in Bávaro. I don't know where she's at. I know that Jesse used to wear that she used to wear the taekwondo on her face. She was a black belt in taekwondo with the Elias team from El Do de Julio.
Mm-hmm.
She used to wear that on her face, bro. People were scared to approach her, even though she was the most gentlest person you could have ever met. But
But they know.
bless you. But because she was so fierce, her reputation just it perceived her wherever she walked. They knew not to try her. Like, don't try her.
All right.
And like I said, these people were these people were wonderful people. You know, genuinely humble, very educated, but that curriculum of training and that style of 24/7 taekwondo, it was on her face. It's like
Ooh,
her face said ki. All right. And
got you.
you didn't want no you didn't want none of that,
Mm-mm.
you know, because you could see on her face that she would kick your butt just because she can.
I remember there was a female that I liked when I was a teenager. Her and teenager whatsoever. She got married the other day. Shout out to her. Now, I remember when I was like 16 or maybe 18 when I went back, or 19 when I went back and forth to the Dominican Republic at that time. I remember I used to roll with my little cousin, and we went to a taekwondo school. It was like right it was like right in Miramar. I cannot go around and say they're on the street, but I know that whenever we passed the pocket, we was in Miramar already.
Copy.
Yeah, so I do remember that. I don't know if my homegirl is a black belt or anything like that, but I could ask around though.
Okay.
But you could tell that she was good at it. Shout out to my homegirl Nelia.
Blessings.
Yeah,
Blessings to all my San Pedro people, period.
yep,
San Pedro Macorís en alta. Se te quiere muchísimo, loco. We out here.
yep. Bo San Pedrano.
Petro
I,
Macorizano,
yep,
you know, born here, raised over there. I know more people over there than I do over here. And
exactly.
I know enough people that if I go back to DR right now and run for some type of city position, I'll get voted in.
Yep,
That's real talk.
exactly. I got more. It's funny. I got more cousins in San Pedro, and I don't even know half of them. It's funny, right?
It's crazy, bro.
That it's funny that I was with my compadre Roberto. That's my first cousin, so you know how certain stuff goes. So one day I was walking with my compadre, and me and him were just walking. The next thing you know, you see two guys that they're actually riding the pasola or something like that. I was like, "Hey, primo, ¿cómo están?" I was like, "Okay." It was like, "Hey, you know what? That's your cousin too." I was like, "Really?" I'm like, "Okay." What else? I know that I met a distant cousin of mine when I was in Union City, New Jersey. Now, the reason why I know that he was a distant cousin is because you know, when you talk to your parents, right, and they're talking about the olden times, they talk about the families, all the people that they mentioned, and then years later, when you grow up, you meet these same people or the descendants of these same people, and you're like, hold up. It was like, oh. I'm so so. I was like, yo, homie, you my cousin. I was like, how? But me and that person, we went up and we talked, and we broke down the family line. He was like, yeah, you are my cousin. And I don't know if he's still living in Union City that day because I know that he was living with his Puerto Rican wife and two children. This is the funny part. His two children used to go and be afraid and everything like that of me, right? Because little kid stuff. After a while, when their father came back, when their father came to Union City, I guess he was living in Puerto Rico at the time, and me and him we started being cool. The kids used to be like, oh, he makes me he makes me afraid. I'm like, okay. The father was like, you know that guy's your cousin. Wait a minute, he's our cousin. Their mood changed. So when I used to be at work up in Union City, the owner of El Especialito, me and him we were just talking because me and him we were actually cool. I don't know if he's still alive, but shout out to him. So one day, me and him we were just talking and everything like that, and my little cousins at the time they went up and they say hi, and the guy the heifer was like, oh, those two little girls they went up and they say hi to you. I'm like, yeah, I know, they're my cousins. Now he was like, because as you know, certain people who are from Latin America they don't get it. So he was like, are you from where you really from? I'm like, yeah. So that's how it is. But in but as far as the martial arts is concerned, I still wish I knew who was teaching judo up in Universidad Central de Este. That's like my first and fondest memory of the martial arts before anything.
I never even knew we had judo in San Pedro. I never even knew
Yo,
we had judo because I remember I spoke about Julian, and Julian was the kung fu teacher of Laos.
right.
So I had no idea there was judo or karate in Laos. All I remember was, Julian teaching kung fu.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah,
For real.
yeah. But how's the climate up in the city, bro?
It's it's starting to feel like fall. Summer is obviously summer already picked up its bags and it's heading out, and
Yep.
with it a lot of people are starting to change tempers and trains of thought. Some people seem happier during the summer, some people are more miserable during the summer. Everybody is everybody is not per se set in their ways, but everybody finds a different comfortability zone, during the season. Some people, because seasons are changing, their mood changes.
Hmm.
Just I try to I try to go with what I've learned and adjust myself to overcome certain situations and keep going forward, as opposed to letting my past batter me and overthinking about my past and just letting it destroy me, because it may have
Right.
destroyed me in a moment where I felt down or whatever. It's just one of
Yeah.
the things I learned from anger management. Just because at one point or another I felt down about something, if that thought comes to my head, I'm not going to let it put me down again. I already went through it.
Yep.
And that's how I was able to conquer certain levels of anger. Of course, we're human. We're gonna get angry about something. All right.
Yeah.
But like I was saying earlier, anger is optional. You could actually choose to be passive and let it pass by you. You can choose to not argue or fight about something. You can choose to, reach a common ground with someone, or you can choose to side with someone. Sometimes you need to side with somebody just to stop the fire from burning.
Right.
Because even though you're on the ice side and you try to explain it in the most coolest way possible, get it, ice side, cool way, the more you try to explain it, the fire is gonna keep burning because the fire doesn't know nothing about ice. It's the opposite element. So the only way to cool a fire down, if you're in the ice zone, sometimes you have to side with the fire and see where the fire is coming from to see if either the fire can die down a little or to see if the fire just goes out completely. You know, I had a martial arts teacher that told me the same way you can't see your reflection in boiling water, it's the same way you can't come to an accordance when you are in the middle of a temper. You can't reach a casual common sense accordance with the next person because you can't see your reflection in boiling water. And man, it was deep. It was just something that I'm trying to piece the words together right now. It was such a long time ago, but it's true. A lot of us we build on the anger, we build on the foundation of anger, and then we can't see the solution of what's going on. We can't see uh, um we can't see any other method. Like anger's the only way. Anger's not the only way. There's so many other ways around it. You know, how many times are you going to get mad over the same thing? That's another thing. You know, you see that rock is there, and every time you trip with that rock, you get mad at yourself for tripping on it. When are you going to learn your lesson to lift your foot up or to take a different route? No, I'm gonna just be mad at myself my whole life because every time I go that route, I bump into that rock. Stop bumping into the rock. There's an option somewhere that we're overlooking. Stop bumping into the rock. Or maybe lift up your foot. Get off your cell phone. Look where you're going. Oh, you know what? Cross the street. Maybe there's no rocks over there. It just it baffles me. It baffles me every time how we're not quick to think about common sense and what's better for humanity. No, it's how I feel, what I feel, and how I'm gonna feel about it, and that's it.
Hmm.
I'm angry. You need to be angry too. If the world's angry, then everybody in the world has to be angry. No, I don't believe in that. Honestly, it's more like this. If you're in a bad mood for whatever the situation is, and you explain to me why you're in a bad mood, if I can pull you out of the mood, then I did good by you. As opposed to you telling me that you're in a bad mood and now I'm in a bad mood too because you're in a bad mood. That doesn't help.
Hmm.
If I'm calm and you're irate, what I'm supposed to do is try to put my calm on you so that your irate can go down. Not get irate as well, because now whatever sense of reason there is in between, it no longer exists. We're both at the same level, and we're both upset. You're upset for your reason. I'm upset for no reason because I'm following you.
Yeah.
Hold on, it works and vice versa. If
Hmm.
if I get upset and you're calm and cool, don't get upset because I'm upset because you're not helping me. If anything, you're gonna put me in a position where I'm gonna be prone to violence. I'm gonna turn that route because instead of finding a way to console me and calm me down, all you did was feed into my anger, and now I'm more angry because you're enabling for me to be angrier. That's not a good friendship. Friends that enable the next one to, be angrier, to be this, be that, do that. It's just not. It's not healthy. That's why I
On
really
on
don't.
face on Facebook, I'm actually tagging you to certain schools in San Pedro.
Okay.
There's some that you actually mentioned. Coliseo de Boxeo Pepe Mayen,
Right.
Dynamic Fitness Center RD,
Oh wow, Ramon Santana. That's funny.
and Escuela de Karate Villa Olímpica.
Villa Olímpica.
Yeah,
Okay, I see. I see.
yeah,
Uh huh. Yep. 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 These are people that I have seen. Yeah,
yeah.
man. I know these San Pedro faces.
Mhm.
Yep. These are people that started off in el 2 de Julio.
Yep,
That's cool. That's very cool.
yep, yeah. Right now, I'm just down in the basement, and it looks
Okay.
like the mock cat wants to play Kung Fu Panda. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
that's
Who's playing Kung Fu Panda?
uh, my cat. She always wanted to do that. That's why she gets her nails out sometimes.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, I know. But one thing is that she's an assassina. You know what I mean?
I bet.
Yeah,
I
I've
have
been
two
having
cats.
her since.
I have one
Oh,
that's I have one that's a scaredy cat that pretends like
mm,
she's tough, but when she sees a mouse, she runs. And then I
wow,
have another one that's just a regular scaredy cat, but when she sees a mouse, she hunts it down. And she's the hunter of the house. And it's crazy,
yeah.
right? You would never figure that the most humblest cat is the assassin one.
Now,
Pardon me.
like her, she's temperamental and everything like that. But she's sweet when she wants to be. But most of the times, she she's a hunter. You know what I mean? I seen her one day when I was actually getting into work, and I don't know how she did it. She just was looking at a wall. I was like, okay, what you looking at? What? Went up and chopped it right up. I was like, wow.
Yeah, my scaredy cat, the one that looks like a tiger, the scaredy cat will only, um, how cats like to play with their food and they smack it around.
Yeah.
The only time Tigger, the tiger cat, will come and smack a mouse around if Moon already killed it.
Oh.
Like Moon is the black cat, the one that acts like a scaredy cat, but is actually a hunter.
All right. So both of those cats are female, or one male and one
They're
female?
both female. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
they're both female. That's the only time I've ever seen Tigger uh, um, play play with a mouse because it's completely gone. And I'm
Right.
like, that doesn't make you brave, Tigger. You got to do something about that. And
Yeah, I
whenever
guess you have to teach. I guess you have to teach that cat kung fu.
I'm gonna have to teach that cat some lion's paw because
Yeah, exactly.
bravery is
Yeah, I
not
know.
installed in her.
Or better yet, you have to teach her snake snake with the lion, no, the tiger with the snakes with the snake's shadow or something like that. Now I'm just referencing the movie.
Crutching tiger, hidden snake.
I know, right?
Yeah. Um. Nah, I just need to teach Tigger some Wing Chun. She'll take care of the rest.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I'm like, yo, my thing is this. Like my cat, she's just she's a little bit fat, but not all. So
Okay.
this is my thing. Every time we went to a Latino bodega, how these cats will be bigger than than 3 loaves of bread, bro.
That's they overeating, which is very unhealthy. That's an obese cat.
Yo, if you thought that was like when my wife's uncle had his bodega, right?
Hmm.
And I saw that, I was like, okay, I've seen, you go to the bodega and you know where the cat is boss and stuff. There's a little skinny dude. There's a little skinny cat, whatever. And they're just chilling there. But when I saw this big fat cat, I was like, yo, what the heck?
Maybe the store had a lot of mice at night, so there was a lot to go around. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah,
they they get fat quick, especially if all they're doing is hunting and eating. Especially the hunting part, because that's them doing exercise. So when an animal exercises and then eats, they replenish the protein for their muscles. They become stronger animals. It's why
yeah,
animals weren't meant to be in the city because they're too pampered, they're too spoiled, they don't get to stretch their limbs out the way they're supposed to, and they end up not growing. That's what happens. Like we have a husky here in the house. Beautiful dog. She's very beautiful. All that good stuff. But comparing her breed with another dog of the same breed, meaning the same family line, one being raised on the outside in the country where she can run all day and hunt and do this and that, as opposed to the city dog, the country dog is like a whole foot bigger. Like
wow,
if that dog went to the gym, only because they
yeah,
have space to work out. They have the space to run around. Huskies need to work out. They're workout animals.
yeah. I remember when my homie had a husky before he actually moved to Pennsylvania, and when he had the husky and such, the husky was hold on, but after a while we got accustomed to it, and that was at my boy's studio. Shout out to Sombra right there, by the way. And if Puntiel Jordan is actually looking at it, Punti Jordan, mando saludo a ti también. Yeah.
Yeah.
So my thing is this. Somewhere somehow this is going to be a continuing topic about the origin of the Dominican martial arts, because I actually believe that this is a story that needs to be told. Just like the stories when it comes to San Pedro and it comes to the Cocomo,
Right.
I believe that a lot of people on my mother's and my pop's generations are actually passing away, sad to say. So I would like to actually get a documentary about our way of life and everything because I'm seeing a lot of people who are actually coming out with false narratives and false histories about us. One of the false histories are saying that the Cocolos are traitors. Okay, how is it that a Cocolo is a traitor, right? When the fact is, we were the only ones that actually embraced the the native born Dominicans. We actually taught that they actually taught the Dominicans the language. They actually treated Dominicans as brothers. We actually lived like brothers. So, and then on top of it, what a lot of people don't understand, that you have some Dominicans that actually came to the United States prepared, speaking English and everything like that, and some of them didn't really go to English school because of that. Who went up and who those Dominicans were hanging with, right?
Right.
So where is the false narrative that we're the traitors? That's
I
what I want to find out.
I think it's more I think it's more having the situation confused as opposed to, Cocolos were per se in their majority very dark skinned. So some people will confuse and say, "Oh, that ese cocolo, that's a Haitian." It's not the same thing.
Mm-mm.
It's nowhere near close of the same thing. But ignorance is bliss. It's very easy for them to say, "Oh, this Haitian person." The person don't speak Haitian. They speak English and Spanish. Like they've never even gone to Haiti once in their life. Like you're talking about that this person's a traitor for what? What did that person do? Oh, that's what I know. Doesn't seem like you know a lot. Do your history.
It doesn't.
There's a reason why, and out of all the provincias in the Dominican Republic, Cocolos are more respected in San Pedro than anywhere else. Why?
Hmm.
Because we honor our history and we honor our elders. Everywhere else, there's this racism of color skin and all this modernism. None of that existed in traditional Dominican Republic. None of that existed. Everybody had a love and care for each one and one another as a village should. All of a sudden, because these groups of people that were this color skin, so now we're gonna act like that towards everybody. That's where the discrimination came in. That's where prejudgment of, if you're this color, automatically I have to not like you because I'm used to people like you doing this, this, and that. What's people like you? Like, how do you have a perceived image already?
Yeah.
And it's one of those. It's one of those, and I
Hmm.
now, mind you, I understand for those Dominicans that come from families of those that were abused by Haitians before the forefront of the Padres de la Patria and the liberation of the Dominican Republic. When La Española was just La Española before it got divided into Haiti and Dominican Republic. I understand that. I understand the oppression. I understand what you may have gone through. I understand that you're taking it personal, even though
Right.
you might be a generation under that or two or maybe three. But at the end of the day, like I said earlier, that anger is optional. You could choose to stay angry with that thought of the past your whole life, or you could choose to move forward and actually build the village, build a nation, build a country that's better, not just for you, but for the next generations to come.
Hmm.
I'm just saying.
Yeah. I mean, you're actually spot on because it's even to the point that you have certain people. I mean, when me and my wife, when we actually walk out and everything, like, certain people they don't know, and, my wife tells them. So, and my wife's former job, the females are like, oh, they didn't know because, my wife, she's actually quiet and everything. So she was like, "Oh, so how you doing and everything?" And they're like, "Yeah, my husband's picking me up." Wait a minute, you got a husband? I'm like, "Yeah." So she shows a picture of me and everything like that. I was like, sometimes they're like, "Yo, I didn't know who you was." I'm like, "Yeah, well, he's Dominican too." I was like, "That you got that dude." I was like, "Okay." I was like, "I guess that's a compliment."
Right?
Yeah,
It's always good to get
yeah.
one of those at least once a year.
Mhm.
At least once a
Yep.
year.
Yep.
Especially after being called fail my whole life. It's nice to hear one time, I just got a compliment for being handsome. Nice.
I'm like, yo. When I was a teenager, females that I did like at the time, like, I let it fail. I was like, all right, yeah. And I'm like,
I
you got a
learned
big
real
head. I
quick.
was like, yeah.
I learned real quick in DR when girls start calling you fail, it's because they like you.
And you know what? I learned that later on in life because you know why? The, the majority of the females who call me Phil, they'll actually call me like, "Dad, you look nice." I'm like, "Yeah, but the situation's changed." The one thing that I used to hate, right, is that
Right.
the females that went up and they shunned you away when they see that that you're happy with your mate and they look better than them, they're gonna go and try to have with the innuendos and everything like that,
They're gonna try to sabotage you the best way they can.
and it never works.
Nope. Females hate seeing you upgrade.
Are you kidding? Like there used to be a chick, like, cause I'm from the Soundview area, right? Dominicana, you know what I mean? I used to say hi, whatever, and she used to act like that that she had, you know, a Mercedes and stuff. The way that she was acting, and 9 times out of 10, she wasn't about that. So I was like, "Hey, how you doing?" I was not even trying. There was times that I might try to say like, what's good?" But she went up and she did whatever. I was like, "All right." So one day, it was like maybe 2015. I was walking with my wife up to Morrison and Selby. I don't know where the heck we was going, but we were going somewhere. Now I'm just walking with my wife. I'm just being regular and everything. The same person that rejected my advances for all the time, whatever. Even if I'm not even gonna try to say anything as far as, I'm gonna whatever. The day that she saw me with my wife, she went up and she just turned her head and was looking at me like, "How did you get her?" Type look. You know what I'm trying to say? And it went on for like maybe 2 or 3 months that she always wanted to try to act like she was the shy woman when the fact was it didn't work because I saw through that. I mean, I'm not gonna be a judgmental guy, but you gotta go around and see game when you see game. How the heck you're telling a man, another guy, like, "Yo, I want to know whatsoever and everything like that," right? But yet you wearing short shorts and everything like that, showing your body and everything of that nature. But yet you acting shy when I'm around. I'm like, something's up.
It's one of
I don't know
those.
what it was. I don't know what it was, but something's up. I'm like, I'm like, I just upgraded. What makes me want to go with a downgrade? It's not happening. some some men, I hate to say it, I have friends that they actually ruin their lives with downgrades. One thing I have to say is this: know your worth, my young kings.
Know your partner's
Be-
worth as well.
Exactly. But in hindsight, you heard about Fujimori?
I have no idea who that is.
Oh, well, he was the president of Peru, and he was of Japanese origin. The saying like I'm just saying like a lot of news reports saying that this man passed away. So rest in peace to that leader. I know he was controversial because of certain things that happened, but anyway, he was the leader of the nation of Peru. So whatever stuff that he had done and everything like that, I'm just gonna leave it right there. Rest in peace to that world leader, Alberto Fujimori. Mhm.
I have this woman over here fighting with me. Pardon me. Give me
Right.
a few minutes. Give me a few minutes.
I will.
It's really bothersome that I can't have a decent, peaceful radio show without getting bothered by her. And I don't mean bothered as in, oh, my temperature's hot now, or I'm upset because she's upset. I don't do that. It's a waste of energy. But it's really bothering that she cannot be calm for the life of her because I'm not paying attention to her for whatever hour or 2 hours that we're on the show once a week. Like, I don't get how that makes sense. And then I'm the bad one. I'm the a-hole. I'm the this. I'm the that. I'm not bothering you, woman. Why are you coming at me? She told me she was off today. I'm off today. Now she's gonna turn around and get ready to leave. Oh, are you taking me or what? I'm on the radio show. You want me to take you where? To the train station? Do I not do that every solid day? Every day I do that. I'm still on the show. You want me to do it now? Oh, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, come on, man.
But yo, this is what I'm gonna say. I mean, if it's like that and everything like that, you do what you gotta do. But at the same time, I respect you for it. And you know what? Do what you got to do, bro. And I totally understand. You know what I mean? Because we have our stuff and everything like that. But then you just got to do what you got to do. So therefore, you can calm the storm. Yeah.
I'm tired of riding the storm, brother. It's come to a point where I'm really tired of riding the storm. I'm very much a realist. If I did something wrong, I expect you to confront me and I expect you to have the details of what I did wrong. Not for you to just come out your face, oh, I'm mad at you because I'm mad and that's it. Why are you mad?
All right. All right. So therefore, as the thoughtful guy as you are, this is what you do. Right
Yeah.
now, I used to have certain stuff like that also until my wife actually showed up. Now, my wife, she's not like a social media head like me. You know what I'm saying? She does what she does and everything. If she be on social media, she be on social media. There could be like a whole bunch of people trying to add her on Instagram. The only person that she uses Instagram for is for me.
Right.
Now, with that said, and I was doxxed and everything like that by that cowardly individual
Huh.
who went up and leaked out information about my wife and everything because that's what cowards do.
Brother,
My
let me
thing is this.
I don't want to interrupt you, but I'm gonna run downstairs real quick. I'll be right back.
Yo, you do what you got to do, bro.
I'm gonna leave my mic on mute. I'll be right back.
All right.
All right.
Well, from my edits and everything like that, from the little research that I have done, it looks like that San Pedro within itself have maybe three or four schools. And I'll actually say that for anybody who actually don't know English or don't know what they said. En mi investigación para, para hablar de las escuelas de los artes marciales en el pueblo San Pedro de Macorís, tenían cuatro o cinco escuelas que enseñan eh, los artes marciales en San Pedro de Macorís. Saludo de la escuela de Pepe Mayen, boxeo. Y Estadio Olímpica en San Pedro. Pero tener varios y otros en la República Dominicana. Pero yo no conozco el nombre. Pero saludo a todos de los karatecas, de los maestros de Kung Fu y Judo. Yo tengo mi respeto a todos de los dominicanos se participa en los artes marciales. Saludos.
And we are live with Open Topics with Don Armando Martial Arts Edition. This is Senpai Pete. I am back.
I
In good news, I went downstairs because I know her temper, and she's one of those people that she doesn't know how to keep her mouth closed. So
got
she'll go
you.
downstairs and start talking and start saying stuff and provoke people. And next thing you know, there's some kind of a fight. And if I'm not
Right.
there, she'll turn around and say that the fight was my fault. And it had really nothing to do with me.
Got you.
So I went downstairs and everybody downstairs told me, no, she went straight to the train station and left. I was like, oh, okay, cool. Now
Right.
where I'm confused, I'm a little confused, and I'm not a person to honestly get confused. I'm confused with the fact that she told me since last night that she was off Wednesday. I'm gonna be off on Wednesday, so let's plan something, blah, blah, blah. Next thing I know, she's leaving to work. Oh, I have work. What's wrong with you? Da, 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 da. What do you mean what's wrong with me? You're the one that told me that you had off.
Mm.
What's wrong with me? You tell me what's wrong with you.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and then the cursing. I don't like cursing. Even though I'm a sailor, I don't have a sailor mouth. I don't like that
Right.
cursing stuff. I don't even
Got
curse
you.
when I'm mad. It's very rare
Right.
that I may curse, only because it's something that it's common. You know, instead of saying stuff or something, I might say shit. But honestly, bro, I don't be cursing like that. So for her to
Right.
want to curse every 5 seconds, I look at her like, have I ever cursed you out?
Mm.
She'd be like, no. So why do you think it's okay to curse me out? Why do you think in some way that doesn't trigger my PTSD? How do you not think that takes me right back to the battlefield? Oh, I'm not thinking
Mm-hmm.
about that. Yeah, that's the problem. I have to think about how you feel and how you might feel, but you don't think about how I feel. So I walk on eggshells for you, but you don't see that. That's
Mm-hmm.
what I be saying. Sometimes she acts like she's the Marine in the house. I'm like, yo, what's going on here?
Yeah.
But anywho, I'm not gonna feed into that. Like I said, I'm the realistic type and I'm the positive type. I don't like to feed into anger. I don't like to feed into negativity because all it does is it multiplies the negativity. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I don't have time or energy for that. I'm one of those people that, okay, you're trying to get me mad.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna pray to the Lord about you because you need help.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Anger is not a way of life. Like, I don't see it as a way of life. Peace
Yeah.
is a way of life. I guess living
Mm-hmm.
by the sword is a way of life. The warrior's code.
Yeah.
But just anger, full blown anger, just for the heck of it. Vlad the Impaler, putting people on pikes and destroying the Ottoman Empire. My brother, no, it's not about that anymore. Why
Mm-mm.
do you think those people are in history? Because they passed. It's history because
Yeah.
it's the past,
Right.
no longer the present. The present
Mm-hmm.
is the gift of life that you're breathing right now. That is the present. Let's make the best of the present, man. All this anger,
Exactly.
what? I don't
Mm-hmm.
get it. I don't get it. I don't get it. What's that for? How did that help you?
Yeah.
Oh, now I feel sick to my
Exactly.
stomach. You did that to yourself. No, you did that. Why? Oh, because you got me angry. How? I haven't even spoken to you. Just a whole bunch of bogusness. It's bogus to me. Like, that'll get me mad because I don't deserve any of it. You know what I'm saying? If I was somebody that I understand, if I was somebody that I'm provoking my girl to anger, you know, I'm pranking her, you know, I'm bullying her, I'm constantly probing at her and bothering her. I get it. I'm gonna get bit by the bear eventually if I keep poking it. But not just for you to come lash out at me because you're mad at the world. Oh, look, the bridge lights are on and they're all blue. I'm mad at you. The hell does that got to do with me? The bridge people don't work for me. I don't tell them what lights to turn on. I don't get that. How could you be mad at the world but blame me for it? What does no, man? I'm not with it. I'm not with it. I know with it, my brother. Not with it. Then she said she was going to go to the ER because she didn't feel good. She said that at 7 o'clock at night. It's literally 10:20, and the last thing out her mouth is, "Oh, I have work." How do you have work when you said you were off? It's bogus. But gotta roll with the punches sometimes. And when I learned that terminology, I was like 12 years old, and I was in El Coliseo Pepe Mayen studying with Sammy El Boxeador. And Sammy, he knew Spanish and English, so he knew terminologies. And he would tell me, "Pete, you got to roll with the punches." And yo no sabía lo que era eso. I don't know what that was. I would ask him, "What does that mean? Can you explain that to me with a visual?" He said, "Sure, I'll explain it to you." You see, if someone's going to punch you like this and you don't have enough time to block it, if you're going to take it, roll with it, meaning go with the momentum of the punch so that the punch actually hurts less on contact. Because since it's going that way, you can imagine a trajectory of where it's going. You also pull your body that way. If it's going that way, you go that way as well. And that way, when the punch actually does give contact, because you rolled with it, it's more like a skeeve. And it may just rub you and tap you as opposed to getting a full contact blow because you just stayed there and let it hit you. If you roll with it, you're going with it so that it has less power at the end of the execution. Seems very martial arty, but it's actually a boxing move. Stuff like that. But I'm about to get ready for tomorrow. Get these kids ready for school. Today they were late because one of them decided to get up early and not get ready for school, but run around and play and watch YouTube videos. When it was time to go, it took them 30 minutes to put a shirt on. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
I mean, hey, but you know what? I gotta say this: you're the warrior, bro. So you know what? I salute you for all that, and thank you for your service, bro.
Thank you for your thank you, brother.
Yep.
Thank you for your thank you.
Yep.
I praise the Lord for the opportunity, and I give God the glory for all of my accomplishments. I would not be anything without Him, and I wouldn't be here without Him. I flatlined twice. I'm supposed to be dead.
Same here.
So, when people tell me, "Oh, this and that," and you're going through a hard time, it doesn't matter what type of a hard time I'm going through. I'm living on borrowed time. God blessed me twice in life, and I'm still here. So I'm not gonna get mad at God that I'm not living a perfect life. I'm still alive.
Exactly.
That to me is perfect enough. The opposite of alive is dead, man. And I know what dead looks like, but I don't know what it feels like. Just saying. All right. On that note, I'm going to bow out. Like always, I want to bless the viewers, the listeners, the people that comment, the people that share these lives, the people that share this radio show, the people that are learning something. I always want to see comments and questions of, any major concern or any minor concern, anything that we may have left in the dark or out of the loop. Please feel free to ask, comment, and, when we review these comments, either Don Armando or I, we will reply back. You know, even if we need to consult each other with the questions, we will reply back. Because, like I've said before in other shows, we do this for you guys. This show is not for us. This show is for the community. It takes a village to raise a child. It takes a community to keep the neighborhood safe. Community and unity. Us. God bless you all. I'm bowing out. Until next time, stay safe, stay woke, stay vigilant. Hoorah!
Yeah. Well, on that note, this was a good show. Shout out to El Negro. Shout out to Senpai Pete. Hopefully next week we'll have some more guests. Saludos para mi gente de la República Dominicana. And I'm out.